located throughout the aircraft. Please comply with them at all times.
Good morning and welcome back to another video. Wow, I can't believe the day is finally here. 2.5 years to the day of my last international flight, I finally had the opportunity to fly home for a couple weeks. And wow, 2.5 years, I don't even know where the time went. So much has changed. Today we're going to be flying with Air Canada on their Tokyo to Vancouver route in economy class. And this is the first of 2 flights for myself today, as I'm going to continue on to Toronto from Vancouver. Right now I just got to Narita Airport, and in a few moments I'm going to drop off my bags. So come along, let's check out Narita Airport in 2022 and Air Canada's Trans-Pacific Economy product as you go from A to B. Narita is a solid 75 kilometers from the south end of Tokyo. There's many ways to reach this large but rural airport, and my go-to is 1,000 yen or $10 bus. However, as of July 2022, that bus service continues to be suspended, and so I went with my next best option, which is this limited express for Narita Airport from Shinagawa Station for about $15. I checked in online the night before, so all I had to do here was print off my baggage tag. For flying into Canada, all travelers must download the ArriveCAN app and follow the prompts. Completing this will provide you with a receipt and QR code. For the 2 Air Canada flights departing Narita, I was surprised at how empty check-in was. In fact, the whole terminal wasn't busy at all. At least the departures board looked reasonably populated. And as always, I welcome you back to another video. This was July 5th, 2022, and my last international flight was my return trip to Tokyo back in January 5th, 2020. So I was excited just to enjoy a longer international flight and to visit home for a bit. I enjoy living in Japan and it does me well, but the comforts, familiarity, and ease of home is something that's always looked forward to. Anyway, after check-in, I decided to wander by the shopping area between the north and south portion of Terminal 1, and I was surprised that nearly all the shops were still closed, and it looked like some went out of business or they shut their doors. I really didn't anticipate this before I came. It was about 1:45 now, so I decided to head upstairs to grab a nibble, and this Lawson's convenience store was the perfect stop. Alright, so we finished the check-in and the baggage drop-off, and it went very smooth, and I made my way up to the 5th floor. There's a Lawson's here, a nice little convenience store. So I picked up a little bit of lunch because it's around 2 o'clock now. Came out to the observation deck. They have this patio furniture where you can relax on, although it is pretty windy outside, so I'm not going to spend too much more time here. It's about 2 o'clock, so I'll finish up and then I'll head through security and immigration and all that fun stuff. Alright, so I just made it to the gate. The immigration, all that stuff was easy peasy. There wasn't really anyone there. And we're at gate 38 today, and it looks kind of sad. The monitors aren't really on, and it looks kind of small for a wide body aircraft. So hopefully it'll brighten up in a little bit. And it looks like we have about 90 minutes to kill before we start to board. And as I got to the gate, I noticed the 40s gates is closed off, which is kind of unfortunate. Air Canada used to depart from the gates back there, and there was kind of a nice little cafe in the middle where you can buy drinks and ice creams and snacks, and I always liked going there, so I had to find somewhere else to get a snack. Hunting down a snack turned out to be slightly more challenging. Even the McDonald's was closed, but at least the 7-Eleven was open. Gateside seemed a lot more busy. It appeared many were here for their layover, but for continuing to North America on the evening flights. By the time I got back to my gate, it was much more lively, but still not an ideal gate for a wide-body aircraft. But not too long after, it was time to board. With my status with Air Canada, I get to board in Zone 2, so I'm able to toss my bags in a close overhead bin once on board.
Second out to the right. Welcome aboard. Thanks for joining us.
Today we're in 22H. For the long-haul flights, I prefer the aisle over the window for the easy access throughout the flight. Today we're on a 6-year-old 787-9, delivered back in 2016. The aircraft has 3 classes, and economy yields a 31-inch seat pitch, and there are 7 lavatories on board.
Seatbelt and no smoking.
By the way, I think they did a great job with their new creative in-flight safety video. Our 9-hour flight will take us up to Alaska before turning back south towards Vancouver. The economy cabin is in a 333 configuration with Boeing Sky interior lighting and dark blue seats. Monitors are positioned on the bulkheads, which display the flight map and safety video. The seats have a headrest and came with a pillow and blanket. Seatback houses the 8.9-inch monitor and headphone jack and USB slot, and we'll look at the IFE in more detail after dinner. There's the table and pocket below. Again, with the 31-inch seat pitch, it's a good fit for economy, and you can comfortably have a personal bag down below with enough legroom to spare. The seat pocket contained the safety card and the current credit card promotion. Both pieces of literature had seen better days. The tray table is adjustable but lacks that locking feature which holds the table in place, which I've seen on other aircraft. And above, you have the reading light and air control. One thing I like to do on these long-haul flights is when the seatbelt sign goes off, I like to come to the washroom. I have another set of clothes that you can change into. Keeps your normal airport clothes a little bit fresher, and it's a little bit more relaxing in the seat for the duration of the flight. It's only about 45 minutes in and the sign just went off, so I just jumped here, and I do that usually first thing. But yeah, time to go back and watch a movie and have dinner. Dinner options were beef or chicken, and I went with the latter. It came with a bean salad, bread roll, and an orange mousse cake. Overall, great dinner. The salad was fresh and bright, and the main course was delicious and not overcooked. And to drink, I went with Canadian. First one in 2.5 years. Tastes like home. I was in a happy place. The IFE was quick and responsive, and there's just such a wide variety of shows and movies to choose from, I didn't even know where to begin. I've been out of the media loop for a while, so if you know of any new dramas or comedies I should watch, leave a comment below. Air Canada also provides Wi-Fi on these aircraft. They offer a variety of options depending on your need. You can either purchase for the entire flight or just an hour, though I didn't bother to connect to the internet this flight. And of course, this is part of the program where I invite you to subscribe if you haven't, so you don't miss any of my travel and aviation related content. Once the dinner service was complete, the cabin lights were turned off and it was time to relax and get a few hours rest. Another reason I didn't choose a window seat is because it's impossible to look outside since the dimming function is locked on the Dreamliner. Plus it's nighttime. I woke up as we were cruising south of Alaska. Note the IFE was not reset to our destination. Feeling a bit peckish, I headed to the back galley. On these long-haul flights, there's always snacks and water in the back where passengers can help themselves. I grabbed a few cookies and some water and headed back. With an hour and 40 minutes until we land, The lights came on for the breakfast service. I like how the LED lights on these aircraft slowly brighten up over a few minutes. It's just so much easier on the eyes. Breakfast options were udon or an omelet, which I went for, and was accompanied by a fruit and bread roll. And since it was morning, it was coffee time. This breakfast service was timed nicely, leaving enough time to change back into airport clothes and to freshen up before landing. This flight was part of my Tokyo to Toronto return ticket, which came to $1,760 for the 3 flights on this itinerary. Alright, so I got through immigration and I did the security for my next flight. And yeah, that's a look at Air Canada's Trans-Pacific product. And overall, it was a great, nice, smooth flight. Food was good, it was enjoyable and kind of what you expect for economy class. And got a little bit of sleep, so overall it's a good flight. One thing that I saw that could be improved on is the literature in the pocket. It looks like it has seen better days, so a new copy would make it look a little bit nicer. But let me know what you thought about Air Canada's Trans-Pacific Economy product. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to start the next video right